Like, that's not good feedback. So I would actually think that, like, communication is something that is talked about all the time, but we don't teach how to effectively do it. We don't talk about how to be direct. So, "Hey, could you maybe, like, sometimes think about setting the ball, like, a little bit farther off? Like, hey, I need the ball a little bit farther off so I can make you look good." I would, like, that's direct feedback. Some people might be like, "Oh, I can't ask them to do that." Yes, you can, right? They don't have to choose to do that, right? But you can ask for it, right? And that's the balance of, like, aggressive communication is give me the effing ball or else, right? Like, that would be, like, aggressive. The passive communication is the one I gave of, like, maybe, like, sort of it was fine, right? We're finding that middle ground of assertive. Like,
Yeah.
I want the ball.
Yeah.
Like, and I can also throw a compliment as because I wanna make you look good. Like, if you set me the ball, we're both gonna look good, right? Like, let's mutually exclusive, right? But communication, I think, is coaches are not great at it. I am getting ready to do a segment on, like, different coaches and parents, so it's funny we've been talking about it. Coaches and parents and athlete, like, archetypes, and there's a lot of coaches who are, like, afraid of confrontation. So, like, "Hey, coach, why am I not playing?" "Well, they're very uncomfortable with having that direct conversation of, "You didn't show up practice this week. You gotta get better at this," because they don't want hurt feelings because they're probably gonna come across as aggressive or think they are. And so that's where, like, fostering healthy communication is a lost art, I think, in sports, and is probably something that is very hard, and some of the best coaches in the world, when you ask their athletes why, because they told me they cared about me. They held me to a high standard while also telling me that they cared about me. They demanded that I, give my all. They knew I had more in me. That's communication, right? Like, you don't just assume those things. Like, those have to be taught and told. And so there are really good coaches with healthy communication and that, like, open door policy, if you will. But there's a lot of coaches, a lot of athletes who struggle to communicate with their teammates. Like, teammate make you mad, need to address it. Most will harbor it all season and build resentment, and you'll see it on the court, you'll
Sure.
see it, outside, but we'll never, "Hey, is everything good between you and" "Yeah, I don't know.
Mhm.
What you talking about?" "Yeah, everything's fine."
Yeah.
"Okay." You know? So, I that was a good question because I think I'm on a communication kick right now of, like, too, of how we stray away from direct communication for fear of being perceived as, like, mean or
Yeah.
aggressive.
I like that. Next
Yeah.
one, best piece of advice you ever received.
Ooh, I had one come up immediately, and it wasn't until within, again, the past probably, like, 10 years. I think it might have been, like, around grad school time. I had a mentor who I was venting to about something say to me, "Cindy," and this goes into my perfectionism of childhood where it, like, healed a part of me. "Cindy, not everyone thinks like you," is the best piece of advice I've ever gotten, and it applies to everything in my life. It applies to, like, sports and to coaching and to, like, "Why didn't you do this?" as a coach. "You didn't say so." "Oh, they aren't mind readers." Just because I saw that that needed done doesn't mean that they saw, right? Or, another example might be this, "I can't believe that they didn't come help me up," right? Like, I felt like I got knocked on the floor, fouled, and, like, nobody came to pick me up. Um, well, that may be what you have done, but they maybe are helping up somebody else who broke their arm across the court or something, right? Like, but you're perceiving them as not helpful because that's what you would do. You would charge and help them up. And so not everyone thinks like you is also a good reminder of, like I said, to the perfectionism piece of, like, I expect perfection and the best and such a high standard for myself. Not everybody does. And that doesn't make them a bad person. That doesn't make them wrong. That makes them not in my brain and not the way I would do things, right? So for coaching, that's a lot of delegation too. Assistant coaches, other coaches, like, not everyone thinks like you comes into play with that around, like, why would you run practice that way? Because that's how I wanted to. Oh,
Right.
okay. Just because that's how I would not have done it doesn't mean it's wrong. And so I have often, that question has been asked to me quite a few times, which is why I smirked right away. Because I was like, I do know this answer because it applies to everything. It's just remembering, and it falls under communication too. If I'm not communicating what's inside my brain, I can't expect people to know what's inside my brain.